On this now from our legal team, Nancy Grace, the host of Nancy Grace on HLN, along with Dan Abrams back as well. And Nancy, I'm just going to sort of toss it up to you. She doesn't remember.
Well, before I address Jodi Arias, just to you, Robin, I'm loving you across the miles. Welcome back, friend.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Now, to Jodi Arias, your question, George, thank you. I watched Arias in court. I watched her on the stand very carefully. This is the inconsistency. Well, first of all, there are a lot of inconsistencies in her story, inconsistencies that don't match up. I've got the medical examiner's report right here that indicates the gunshot wound was after the 29 stabbings, including ear-to-ear slashing. So her story that there was self-defense and she doesn't even remember pulling the trigger and shot him first doesn't jive with what the ME said. But my original thought is, after all these days of minute testimony, right down to a 4-cheese omelet she had 5 years ago, to where she slept, to where she stopped for a Diet Coke, all the way to the fact that after the murder, she had a Costco bottle of water out in the desert where she threw away the murder weapon. How can she go blank when she pulls his head back and slashes him from ear to ear? That's not the kind of thing you forget.
Dan Abrams?
Look, Nancy's right. Tough credibility, almost impossible facts. And yet I'm still going to say that I think that all that considered, she was as good a witness as she possibly could have been.
With bad facts.
With terrible facts. But she was still, I think, as good a witness as she can be. Why? She cried at the right time. She basically said that she tried to cover up the crime at certain points, making concessions. She's looking at the jurors at the right time. If anything was going to work in this case, I think she did it as well as she could have.
And failing to remember is the only possible.
Well, that's right, because if she said she did remember, she'd be in more trouble than saying she doesn't remember.
Nancy?
You left something out, Dan. I love the part on the stand where she says that he beat her before and she got a broken ring finger. But then when she gets to testifying, she gets caught up in all her lies, she accidentally lets it straighten out in front of the jury.
So I think
that's one little detail she should have focused on.
No, look, this is the real question is going to be, did her testimony enhance her chance of possibly bonding with a juror or two and getting a hung jury or a second-degree murder conviction? Or did she enhance her chance of getting the death penalty because these jurors are listening to her and saying, I don't believe a word she's saying?
And Nancy, you've been keeping a close eye on this jury.
Yes, I really have. And what disturbed me was that a lot of them were taking notes fast and furious. But when she said everything is, quote, a big gap, and I experienced this when I prosecuted cases, defendants, co-defendants, eyewitnesses that were somehow involved in the crime would mysteriously have a memory lapse or they'd look the other way at the precise moment of the knifing or the shooting or the drug transaction. That's exactly what she did. And when she said she forgot, the jury actually put down their pens and pencils and sat back and went, what?
Well, there's not much to say. I mean, she forgot. What are they going to write down? She forgot. I mean,
And she faces cross-examination
today.
Yeah.
She lied. She didn't forget.